What were you more disappointed in? The offense getting 10 points or the defense giving up, I think, like 7.5 yards a carry to Singleton and Allen?
Yeah, definitely the performance of the defense. When your head coach comes out and says they busted on the first 8 plays defensively in the 11th game of the season, that is very alarming to me. That's concerning.
Yeah.
I know this defense is young. I know they're very inexperienced, but in your 11th game, so I try to draw parallels, right, of how do you get to that point in your 11th game? Is it, A, did you try to do too much install during bye week and your players were not able to grasp it and take it to the game? Or did you not do enough in preparing them and saying, hey, let's get some more rest and recovery? And then you go out in Penn State and they were just more physical. And that was definitely the case. But that's not stopping the run. That's obviously been a very consistent problem for this defense. But the 7.3 to those two, but he knew he had to slow those guys down, and they went into a fist fight, and they weren't prepared. So that's what I take from that game. That's what I am unhappy about. If you want to take that back to the question, they just from after they did not convert on that 4th down play, Nebraska didn't seem like they belonged on the same field, physically and athletically as Penn State, and that does not sit well with me.
Yeah, I mean, it was only 10-0, 10-3. Nebraska's in the game. Why do you think the offense struggled so much being able to get some movement, and why do you think Taylor Latif didn't run more? It seemed like we were going to expect that.
Yeah, early on, I thought Nebraska had a couple good drives to start the game, and I think if they could have gotten more out of that than 3 points, I think the game's different. I'm not saying they're winning the game, but I'm saying that the feel and the flow of the game. But it got to a point when the defense gave up so many points. They dropped TJ Latif back 45 times on pass calls. That's just too many. I mean, he really shouldn't be over 30, let alone high 20s. And you drop your true freshman back on the road in State College 45 times. So the game plan was interesting. You think about the rushing yards, Michael. They only had, I believe, 57 rushing yards after quarter one, Nebraska. 23 carries, I believe, for 57 yards is what they finished with after that first quarter, where Nebraska looked like they were going to run for 200-plus yards easily. And after they made Johnson run, we just didn't really see the flow that you wanted to see and the big playability this offense can produce.
And I believe 12 of those were from Latif, which I thought he'd get a lot more because Penn State had given up a lot of rushing yards to quarterbacks. The mindset thing, Sierra Wright mentions it after the game. You had a team that was playing for their assistant coach, playing for bowl eligibility, senior day. Their mindset was better than Nebraska's mindset?
Yeah, to me, it seemed that way. They looked like the hungrier team. They looked like a team that they're trying to fight for their coach and fight for respect. And this season got off such to a poor start for them. And you lose to Oregon, you lose to UCLA, you come back and you lose your starting quarterback and you lose to Northwestern, and then your head coach gets fired. So they're fighting for a little respect and try to have another game to play for. And Nebraska just kind of seemed like they weren't right. That their mindset definitely wasn't nowhere near to where Penn State's was, and it showed. And Nebraska's got to take this time and look at yourself in the mirror. And I tell you what, I love the fact, after a performance like this, I love the fact that they have a short week.
Yeah.
Love that. You can rinse it. You definitely got to learn from the mistakes. You just can't completely forget, say, hey, we're on to Iowa. You got to learn. But I love the short week to kind of come in, learn from your mistakes, but also, okay, let's flush it now, and let's get prepared for a Black Friday game against Iowa.
I know that Matt Rhule kind of downplayed it, but the difference between 8-4 and beating Iowa and 7-5 and losing to Iowa is huge for this program.
No doubt. And I mean, you think about it from like a bowl game perspective. Obviously, you'd go to a better bowl, probably Tampa, but the number of people that would travel. I mean, I feel like I have a good feel of this fan base. Sure. And if they get that win over Iowa, there will be such a feeling of happiness that people I want to go watch a bowl game now. Yes. I want to go to Florida. It's going to be awesome. So, but if you lose, there'll still be people that would go to Vegas or wherever it could be, Nashville, Vegas, wherever, but it just wouldn't have the same feeling. So I do think you look at the wins for Matt Rhule. The best wins this year have been Cincinnati and Northwestern. Yeah. To me, that there isn't kind of a hang your hat on. You're Nebraska football. You don't hang your hat on a win over Northwestern. So you need something like this to kind of really sell the progress, especially that you're trying to sell here in year 3.
I know that a couple of weeks ago, John Butler said it was low-hanging fruit about the pass defense, and that's come back a lot against him. But I mentioned to you, against the 5 best rushing teams, and I put Minnesota in there, and they're not one of the best rushing teams, but 211 yards average. Now you're going against a team that gets about 170 a game. How worried are you about the matchup?
I'm very worried. You had me guess before. I said 178, and you said 211. I was shocked, but not. I mean, you look back at that, completely surprised. Very concerned. This football's a copycat league. Teams, what USC did to Nebraska against the run, what Penn State able to do, the counteractions, just putting your defense in a tough spot, they're going to keep doing it. They're going to keep testing you, and there's no doubt about it. And what Kirk Ferentz, we've seen this for 10 plus years now, they're going to just do basic stuff, make you stay patient, make you earn everything, and see if you can play good, solid, gap sound defense. And if they don't, they're going to convert, and they're going to make you play solid fundamentals. And that's very concerning to me. I think this game comes down to Nebraska stopping the run. If they don't, I don't think Nebraska will be able to get it done on Friday. If they can improve, set the edge. If you're going to spill, linebackers get on top, you're going to box it, and keep your outside arm leg free and go make a play. But when you have guys busting like you had against Penn State, that's going to be hard to beat anybody in the Big Ten.
Sean, I'm curious, what do you think about in terms of Iowa fans coming into the stadium? 11 a.m., it's Black Friday, obviously, but do you expect there to be a big contingent of them?
Yeah, they're always. I mean, I'd say for visiting Big Ten teams, they're by far the most. Ohio State's up there too.
Right.
But this is an 11 a.m. kick, so the travel will be a little bit more challenging to get here. If it was a night game or even a 2:30 like we had seen previously, you would probably see more. But I think it will be a step above what we're used to seeing for a normal road team. They'll obviously fill their allotment, and there's going to be more Hawkeye fans sprinkled in. But it's a challenge for Husker fans too. It's going to be cold. It's an early kick right after the holiday, where last year Iowa got the same game at night.
Yes.
And I think if you're Troy Dannon, you're really like, hey, why can't we get this game at night? It'd be nice to have a light show on. I'd like to see the light show with a turkey up there one of these times.
Plus a whole nother full day almost of rest for a team that's coming off the road playing in a short week already versus a team that played at home at 2:30. All of that doesn't seem like it makes a lot of sense.
No, and because of some of these tolerances in the league, like Michigan and Ohio State, for example, they won't play them at night on week 13 because they want to protect the brand. I mean, the Ohio State-Michigan game is the biggest piece of property in college football. And so, of course, those teams had nice, kind of friendly Saturday kicks. For Nebraska, that was the latest night game Penn State's ever played. For them, it was rare to play a night game this late in November. But that's kind of where this Big Ten television contract is. It's struggling right now as far as against the SEC. The SEC has dominated the Big Ten in the television rankings, to the point where Ohio State Rutgers was on Big Noon Kickoff. It still drew 4.1 million, but it because of Michigan not being Michigan and Penn State not being Penn State at the level we're used to, the whole entire TV kind of brand and value of this deal has suffered a little bit this year.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So let's talk, going back to the defense, because I think it's important to understand, and I asked you a number of times different ways about inexperience and how much that is, but part of it is simply rigor, right? You've got to be physical with your hands, good with your feet, and know your responsibilities, right? If you're supposed to be taking on the block, if you're supposed to be, just getting rid of the block, if you're the edge, if you're the spill guy, all of that has to be done right.
100%. It has to be done right Monday through Friday.
Right, yeah.
So when I see them struggle, I mean, I just don't think it's very rare if you prepare well, and I know you get the coach speak by a lot of guys, we prepared well, we practiced well, and then you don't do it. I'm like, I don't necessarily buy that. I know they kind of have to protect your players and fall on the sword sometimes, but you have to do it right Monday through Friday. You have to be physical. You have to do the small things. You have to get good on good competition, even during a bye week. You have to get good competition, good one-on-ones, even during the season, because you have to stay sharp. Those things are important.
Yeah, right.
If you're an edge defender, and it's going against a Spindler or whatever it is, a starting offensive line, it's much different than going against a scout team guy. You have to get those good reps, and you need those, especially with a young team. You have to stress them. You got to push them. Yeah. You can't, with young players, you have to teach them the right way to practice and then teach them the right way to prepare. That's where I mean, listen, you're talking to a guy who played as a young player and did not prepare the right way. I thought I could kind of get myself through the week, and it showed. I wasn't as good when it came to Saturdays. Once I started practicing the right way in the middle of the week, and preparing the right way, my game elevated. And once you start doing that, you see the rewards. All you want to do is continue to prepare better. So that's the maturity level of.
Yes.
I think that's what's with this young team is learning how to prepare the right way. You can't just roll your in the middle of the week and think you can kind of half step through things and I'll show up on Saturday. It's not going to happen. This isn't high school. This isn't. You just can't do that anymore. You got to. The maturity is preparing the right way, and I think that's what's lacking right now with Nebraska and their inconsistencies within this defense.
Sean, when you look at what the program is, they have a very inexperienced defensive line coach. Really, they have an inexperienced DC who hadn't done it since back when he was at Penn State when they were under sanctions. What do you think about this staff on that side of the ball?
You make a good point. I mean, the veteran coaches happen to all be in the secondary.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Addison Williams.
And they're playing the best.
And Phil Snow and even Butler with his background where, even Phil Simpson's your edge guy. And he's kind of a rookie coach right out of high school. Terry Braden's never been a true run-the-room guy. He's always been the assistant position coach. So you make a good point there, Michael, about kind of the makeup of this staff. The back end is very veteran. The front, Dvorak's the veteran of that group. And Matt Rule gave him his first job as kind of a full-time position coach.
Yeah. He played for him, right?
He played for Rule at Temple.
Yeah.
He's obviously been, a guy they think very highly of. But yeah, you're right. That front seven group of coaches is relatively young in the grand scheme of things when you kind of look at it the way you just broke it down.
How do you think the growth of the D-line has been? Honestly, when I watch the game, Petchak probably jumps off the page more than any of the other guys who've been there longer in the program than he has.
He's definitely a guy that's developed nicely, he's come along nicely, has some pop, has some burst, has some twitchy ability about him. I think
instinct too.
Noweri has showed a lot of. I mean, some games. That Michigan State game earlier this year was his best game of the career. You saw Keanu Davis play well against UCLA just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So they have guys. I don't buy into they're not big enough. I've stood next to these
You know how
guys
many
at
300-pounders Iowa has?
You
know how many? Zero.
Enlighten us.
They have zero.
On the whole roster?
They have zero defensive linemen that are over 300 pounds. One of the best defenses in the Big Ten. And Indiana's only got one guy that's over 300 pounds, and it's I think the second or best rushing defense behind.
Size helps. Strength helps. But I've been on a lot of football teams where guys are absolute maniacs in the weight room, can lift all the weight. They get on the field, they don't know how to utilize it.
Yeah.
But I also been around guys who aren't very strong, but play with elite pad level, hand placement, and technique. So they know how to do those things. Coach them the right way. Develop the players the right way.
Yeah.
You can get a lot out of smaller, undersized guys if you work them and teach them the correct techniques to do those things. So yeah, if you have size, that helps, but it's not everything.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of guys that play a lot of years in the NFL who are undersized. Aaron
Donald's the greatest ever. He's like 5'11".
Yes, one of the great, arguably the best D-line in the NFL. Period.
Yeah.
And he's touching 6 foot barely. So, I think they'll get there. Again, we got to remember those players are they're still young. But you made a good point about the youth of that coaching staff too, and just being the main guy in the room, the meeting room. That takes some growth as well.